of all, thank you everyone for coming for such a short notice. And all of you know we are here to recognize one of the outstanding students from Toronto District School Board. Four top scholars from the Toronto District School Board. And one of the four students is Saranya Jeyakanthan, and he's from the Tamil community. And it's really proud to see one of our students was able to get over 99% grade, which is really by recognizing her, and we can also motivate and inspire a number of other students who are already doing well and who will continue to do well in the years to come. So I was contacted by one of our relatives from New York, and he has an organization called Education, Innovation, Leadership and Community Service. This is based in the USA in the United States. I want to just read a message that he has sent to me and ask you to read it. It says, Education, Innovation and Leadership, Top Scholar, Academic Achievement Award, Saranya Jeyakanthan. Dear Saranya, Education, Innovation, Leadership, Community Service is an educational outreach initiative launched via YouTube and Facebook to inspire students in the diaspora community to excel in education, innovation, leadership and community service. Through this service, we hope to reach out to education experts, university professors, artists, students and parents, gather experiences and knowledge and share these with others in the Tamil community. We are determined to grow a vibrant Tamil community in northern and eastern parts of Sri Lanka and around the world. Tamil diaspora community takes pride in celebrating your recent academic achievement of becoming one of the top 4 scholars with an above 99% subject average in the Toronto District School Board. It has been a long road, but as an undergraduate student at the University of Waterloo, we wish you continued success in your future endeavors. Congratulations, sincerely, Education, Innovation, Leadership and Community Service, New Jersey, United States of America, August 2019. Congratulations. So with that, we have got our lovely trustee and my niece, Yalini Rajakulasingam here, so I will ask you to say a few words, and then I want to...
Hello, Manakam. Congratulations, Saranya. That's such a huge milestone. I remember when we first heard news of 4 students had topped with 99% average. I remember looking through the list of names, and I have to admit, when I heard that a young Tamil woman had placed, I was personally really happy. We send our children to study, to learn different subjects, to try different extracurricular activities, to learn about themselves, and to contribute and become citizens in part of the democracy tomorrow. And to hear about such a milestone, it's truly very inspiring. To put this into perspective, Saranya represents the Toronto District School Board. The TDSB is the largest school board in Ontario. We have 600 schools and 250,000 students. And Saranya, as one of them, has an average of 99%. That's not something easy. I can't imagine how much hard work you put into this, and you truly make our community very proud. At this moment, I want to thank her family. நாங்கள் புலம்பெயர்ந்து வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து ஈழத்துலேருந்து எவ்வளோ கஷ்டங்கள் மத்தியிலையும் இங்கே வந்து நீங்கள் எவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, எவ்வளோ சாக்ரிஃபைஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பீங்க, அந்த தரமான கல்வி சரியாக கொடுக்கணும்னு எவ்வளோ ஆசைப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. So I'm sure that's every Tamil parent's dream, to have a 99% average. I don't know how you did it. That's a very high number. But congratulations to the whole family. And to go into civil engineering. Again, that's a subject that not a lot of women go into. So be fearless and continue breaking boundaries. You're going to be inspiring a lot of young children. So we're looking forward to see what you're going to be up to in the future, and all the very best to you. Nandri.
Congratulations. Actually, it's a very memorable moment. We want you to be a role model to all our youth, to the boys, girls, everyone. We are really proud of you, what you have achieved, everyone. So congratulations, and honestly, on behalf of all of us here, I say we are proud of what you have achieved.
And I also want to ask Lorna is here to say a few words. And
Good afternoon, Saranya, your parents, Rango, Yalini, and Punithavel audience. It's a wonderful, very great achievement. What I can see is your parents invest. Always, good, perfect investment doesn't fail. So they got the good harvest. You are a model for other parents too, As a media person, I'm very proud and glad I can.
we have two, and we will present one now, and we will present one.
Just a minute. Thank you.
Thank you. And I also asked, Ken Kandiman, he would like you to say a few words.
Thank you. Before I start, I think there's a quote from Tirukkural which summarizes this very well. It says, "Indru poludil peridhu vakkam," and I'm going to change it slightly, "Than mahalai sanrol enakku trathai." So congratulations, Saranya, on this amazing achievement. It is truly extraordinary to excel, to become the best in anything. I mean, it is not easy. It needs a tremendous amount of hard work, a tremendous degree of focus and diligence. And there can be only a few people who come to the top, and you're one of them. She was very, very proud. She said your progress will be challenging, but she said, fly the flag of womanhood very well. My daughter is a strong feminist. Fly the flag of womanhood high. Whatever you do, this would be the foundation of your career. And look upon this. You have done something exceptional, and that should motivate you throughout the rest of your life. All the best from the Tamil community. And one more.
Anybody else wants to, say something in encouraging words and to comment?
Right, thank you. Actually, first I want to thank everybody for actually putting importance to something like this, because we see we get sidetracked, but I think education is something that's very important. So having said that, I'm very, very privileged and honored and really happy that this Saranya is actually related to me. I'm married into the family, and I've seen her grow up for 10 years. The family puts so much importance to education. This cannot happen. It's not possible without the actual effort that the family put through. That's why we're very, very proud of her, and she will, I'm sure, she'll reach miles. And thank you, everybody, for actually putting some initiative to recognize her. That's
Thank you. Time to hear from Saranya.
Yes. Hi, good evening to everyone who came, and thank you for all coming here to this event. So the reason I'm here is I was chosen as a TDSB top scholar, and that didn't happen overnight. It happened after years and years of hard work and effort. I remember I started off, I went to extended French in grade 4, and I'm really glad I did that. I learned a lot, not only about the French language, but also about a different culture, different their arts and different things like that. And I was able to learn, how to study a new language and how this applies into all the other parts of my life. So that was a really memorable stage in my life. And then after that was high school. When I went on to high school, that was like a totally different ballpark. It was there was a new workload, especially when I hit grade 11. That was there was a really big workload, and at times I struggled with it. It wasn't always easy. There were times where I was starting to fall behind in grade 11. I remember my parents, they were very, very encouraging and supportive at that time. They helped me get through it. They even suggested things like tuitions and things like that. And I tried it out. I went to a few tuitions, but sometimes they weren't for me. I found one tutor though that really, really helped me. Her name's Geeta teacher, and she's a chemistry teacher right now. And she was able to teach chemistry in a way that at first I thought it was a little boring. I was like, this is so hard, I don't get it. But then after, she taught in a way that was fun and interesting. She used analogies and stories in her lessons. And I found that extremely interesting. That grew like a love for chemistry. And then in grade 12, I had a great physics teacher as well. Her passion of physics spread to me, and that really made me interested in the subject. And I started to consider careers like engineering. I also, when I was going into grade 12, I figured out, I wanted to do civil engineering, and that was super motivating for me going into grade 12 because I knew what I wanted to do and how my studies in school applied to the real world, right? Because sometimes when you're in class, when you're in like calculus, and you're wondering like, what does this have to do with real life, right? So I found that my research, outside of class really helped me become more interested in my studies in class. So and then after grade 12, I got my results back, and I was really happy. But I was at the top of my school, but I didn't think I would be the top of Toronto, right? So that was crazy. I got the call from TDSB, and I was so happy. My parents were, of course, really happy. I went to the TDSB event, and there, Saranya also came with me, and Anushka as well. And Krishna Lingam uncle, he posted it online, and it spread to other Tamil news sources as well, so I'm very grateful for that. And Gnanasaram uncle, he heard from Krishna Lingam's uncle's post, and he found out, and he asked me to do an interview for his YouTube channel, Education, Innovation, and Leadership. And I was very, very glad to do that interview because I really supported what they stand for, which was to uplift the other students in the Tamil community and to make sure that they also reach their full potential academically, and they are able to succeed. So that's something that I was really happy to partake in. And I'd also like to thank him for starting the initiative for this event as well. So and I'd also like to thank everyone who came here and all of the people who spoke today. Thank you so much for encouraging me and motivating me to do my best in the future and reach my potential. And hopefully in the future, I'd like to be a role model for the younger students who sometimes they might not be sure what they want to go into. Hopefully, I can encourage some people who want to go, like women, especially young girls, who want to go into engineering. So in the future, I'd like to continue being a role model for the Tamil community.
Thank you, Saranya. So I have 3 things to present. So Jalini, so this is a recognition letter from one of the Tamil professor from the United States. Why don't you read this and you can present this to her?
Nason Sri Skandaraja, PhD, Associate Professor of Engineering and Mathematics. Congratulations, Ms. Saranya Jeyakanthan, for the outstanding academic standing and becoming the top scholar at the Victoria Park Collegiate Institute, Toronto, Canada. As part of the Education, Innovation, and Leadership Committee, I am very humbled to present this Engineering Fundamentals, an Introduction to Engineering book to you. I hope this freshman engineering book makes a smooth transition from high school to college. Also, you can explore the difference of all disciplines engineering majors too. Good luck and wish you all the best.
Engineering fundamentals, as she go into engineering.
Make the book visible.
Yes.
And finally, we have got a nice plaque, and it will be better to have an engineer present this. And gonna come.
Right, let me check it.
Yeah, why don't you read it? Is that visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Okay. Top Scholar Academic Achievement Award presented to Saranya Jeyakanthan in commendation of an outstanding academic standing and for becoming a top scholar at Victoria Park Collegiate and Institute, Toronto. Tamil diaspora community proudly presents this award to applaud you for your determined endure and your highest academic achievement in 2019. Presented by Education, Innovation, Leadership, and Community Service, New Jersey, USA. All right.
Three of you are present doing it together. We will, at this point, we will have one of our parents to say a few words. Yeah.
எனது மகளை கௌரவிக்கும் மூலமாக நீங்கள் அனைவரும் இந்த கோடை காலத்தில் உங்கள் குடும்பங்களுடன் சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கும் நேரத்திலே இதற்காக நேரம் ஒதுக்கி வந்தமைக்காக மிக்க நன்றி. முதலாவதாக ஞானசேகரம் செல்லையா அவர்களுக்கு எங்களது குடும்ப சார்பு மிகவும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். ஏனென்றால் அவர் என் மகள் டாப் ஸ்கூலராக வந்ததிலிருந்து அடிக்கடி எங்கள் வீட்டுக்கு அழைத்து எப்படியாவது அவரை கௌரவிக்க வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லி திரு இளங்கோ அவர்கள் மூலமாக இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை ஒழுங்கு செய்து மிகவும் அழகாகவும் நெத்தியாகவும் நடத்தியவைக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. அடுத்ததாக திரு அரவிந்தன் அவர்களும் இந்த நிகழ்வுக்கு ஒத்துழைப்பு வழங்கி எங்களது மகளை கௌரவித்தவைக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்ததாக நேசன் ஸ்ரீஸ்கந்தராஜா அவர்கள் எனது மகளுக்கு ஒரு சான்றிதழை வழங்கி கௌரவித்துள்ளார். அடுத்ததாக இங்கே வருகை வந்த அனைவருக்கும் மிக்க நன்றி. கன ஆறுமுகத்துக்கும் எமது மருமகள் சுஜானி கிருஷ்ணலிங்கத்துக்கும் மிக்க நன்றி. கிருஷ்ணலிங்கம் அண்ணாதான் தமிழ் கம்யூனிட்டிக்கு இந்த நியூஸை பரவுவதற்கு மூல காரணமாக இருந்தவர். அதனால் இந்த உலகம் முழுவதும் உள்ள தமிழ் மக்கள் எங்களை சமூக வலைத்தளங்களாகவும் நேரடியாகவும் அழைத்து வாழ்த்தியமைக்கும் இந்த இடத்தில் அவர்களுக்கும் நன்றியை கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கின்றோம். எதிர்காலத்தில் இந்த மகள் தனக்கு பயனுள்ளவராகவும் தமிழ் சமூகத்துக்கு பயனுள்ளவராகவும் நிச்சயம் வருவார் என்று நான் நம்புகிறேன்.
Very nice, thank you. At this time I want to acknowledge Linadugal Ghana and EC 24 News Krupa Krishan and Udayan Lohan who was here to be here and cover this within a short time, and all of you for being here. You know, everyone spoke about Jnana Segaram, and he's the one who asked me to do this from, he lives in the US and he's the one who asked me to do that. I want to just say a few things about him. He's a management graduate from University of Jaffna, and then he has taught English language as a secondary language for a long time, close to 10 years in South Africa. And then now he is teaching English as a second language in one of the universities in the US. And his son is I think he is currently going into third year at Princeton University, and his name is Mahisan, and he's one of the outstanding students. And from the age of 12, he was featured in many medias in the US. And there was, when he was 13 years old, there was a peace conference that happened in the United States of America. And on the panel, there were Dalai Lama included. There were so many world leaders there in that panel. And the US wanted to pick one youth, and they picked him to be on the panel when he was at 12 or 13. And over a period of 3 summers or 2 summers or 3 summers, they live in Newark University. He read all the books in the library. Yeah, the Newark library he read, and about 750 books or something he read over 3 summers. And the mayor of Newark invited him and organized a huge gala and honored him. And the mayor said, please do anything but don't run for mayor. So I have seen him grow, and And because then the reason I am saying this is because he realizes the importance of education, and before he went to Princeton University, Obama was the president of United States, and Obama invited few kids to White House, and he was one of them. Invited by Obama to White House and met Obama. And Princeton University gave him full scholarship for his entire 4-year period. And now university sent him various places to internship, and now he was in India. I think he get to meet the Prime Minister of India and so many people. So he is one of our wife's relative, and that's why I knew him. And so the reason I was saying all of this is, he's proud to see our young people do extremely well, and he's the one called me from all the way from US. Please organize something, and before he goes to university, recognize with people, whether big or small event doesn't matter. And so I want to thank him, because the reason I said all of this is to demonstrate the importance that he gives to the youth and the academic achievement of the youth. And with that, I know you are going to Waterloo University tomorrow, and all the very best from everyone over here. And wish you all the best for your continued success. And we look forward to seeing your success.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the best, and thank you to everyone.